could say tonight marks the beginning of the stretch drive for your Rangers. With the most grueling part of the schedule behind them, they embark on the final 18 games rested and ready. The journey begins at the ballpark where temperatures have eased and the Rangers have dominated. It's time for Friday night baseball, and it's on 21 as the Oakland A's come to Arlington for a 3-game weekend series. It is the coolest night at Rangers Ballpark in months as the Rangers return home to start a 6-game homestand and a series again against the Oakland Athletics. And we welcome you, Dave Barnett, along with Tom Green. This has been a very one-sided season series. And Tom will show them some numbers that bear out just how dominant the Rangers have been.
Yeah, and if this is, in fact, the stretch run, the Rangers are going to have to continue that domination. And it's pretty hard to do when you look at the numbers that the Rangers have put up against the A's in the last 8 meetings. I mean, it's pretty dramatic. They've hit 100 points higher. They've scored 4 runs more per game, extra base hits, huge margin, and the ERA is about 3.5. That's about as well as you can dominate a team over 8 games, and the bad news is the Rangers have to keep doing it to keep up this stretch drive right now.
It says on paper that the Rangers should succeed, and they really need to start tonight, and especially for Colby Lewis, this will be his 5th consecutive attempt at winning his 12th game of the year. We're just about set. Lineups, first pitch coming up from the ballpark. AT 21 is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT Rethink Possible. by TXU Energy. To find a plan that's right for you, call TXU Energy, the right things right now. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Rangers got off the plane before last, coming home from Tampa Bay, and the temperatures were in the low 80s. They were like kids going out to play in the first snowfall of the year, and could not wait to start this homestand about 15-20 degrees cooler than it's been much of the year. Expect this to be somewhere in the high 80s before the first pitch is thrown by Colby Lewis and this series gets underway. Tom, as we look at the last 23 games against some very challenging opposition, the Rangers came out one ahead in that stretch, winning 12 out of the 23. So a little momentum coming into this homestand and what they have remaining the rest of the year as they start play 2.5 games ahead of the Los Angeles Angels. Magic number is 17. The A's tragic number is 4. Just a matter of how soon they will be officially eliminated from Western Division playoff possibilities. Bob Melvin, their interim manager, has this lineup tonight, beginning with Jemile Weeks, rookie second baseman. Coco Crisp playing very well offensively and defensive lately. Hideki Matsui is in left. Josh Willingham, the DH. Brandon Allen has been hitting some of the longest home runs in recent memory for the A's. He's at first. Clint Pennington, the former Aggie, at short. David DeJesus in right. Kurt Suzuki behind the plate. And the former Tiger Scott Sizemore batting ninth and playing third base against Colby Lewis.
Scout out Colby Lewis. His last 3 starts haven't really gone the way he wants them to go. 28 starts overall have been fine. Nice 11-10 record with a 4.32 ERA. He's given up a lot of home runs. That's the most in the American League. He started 4 games against Oakland this year. It has gone really well. He's 3-0 with a 2.60 ERA in those 4 starts. Opponents are only hitting 188 against him. But in Colby's last 3 starts, he's given up 16 runs, 24 hits, and 15 innings. A couple of those starts have been against the Red Sox. And hopefully Colby will bounce back and throw the ball the way you expect him to throw coming down the stretch. He was a terrific pitcher for the Rangers last year in the postseason. Hopefully a strong finish by Colby will help the Rangers get to postseason.
So we said his 5th attempt at tying his career high of 12 victories. Last year he won 12 but lost 13. The Ranger defense playing much better of late. Andy Chavez in left, Craig Gentry in center, David Murphy in right, with Beltre, Andrews, Kinsler, and Moreland. The infield and Mike Napoli behind the plate, and immediately say, where is Josh Hamilton? Well, Josh is with his wife Katie, delivering their 4th child this afternoon. Congratulations to the Hamiltons. And that is your ultimate excused absence. So no Josh Hamilton in the lineup. Jemile Weeks ready to step in. And the rookie out of the University of Miami looks at strike 1. .88 degrees for our first pitch. And the first 2 in for strikes.
Yeah, Jemile Weeks is having a nice rookie season. He's hitting .303. That'd be about .302 after that fly ball. It's funny though, if you look at Weeks at hitting .303, his on base percentage is less than Ian Kinsler, and Ian Kinsler is hitting .245. So Weeks is hitting almost 60 points higher, and Kinsler's on base percentage is higher. So it's just another way of saying, don't get worried about what you see with Ian Kinsler's batting average. Look at all the other numbers that go around it: the power, the walks, the base running.
And boy, especially the power of late,
I'll say.
So here's Coco Crisp, switch hitting center fielder, and so far nothing but strikes from Colby Lewis. It's a curveball down on one knee to field it is Kinsler. There's 2 quick outs, leaving only 5 pitches. Colby Saturday in Boston, lasting just 3 1/3 innings, tying his shortest outing of the season. Had a 3-1 lead going into the 8-run, 36-minute bottom of the 4th against Colby and 2 relievers as they broke that one open. But a sharp start so far as Hideki Matsui settles in. He has had a marvelous second half after really struggling in the first. The big curve falls in for a strike. 6 pitches, all strikes, and you see the difference second half versus very underperforming first half for Matsui. He has hit Colby Lewis well in their encounters so far. 6 for 20, 2 home runs. Home plate umpire tonight is the crew chief, Tom Hallion. Bill Miller at first, James Hoy at second, and Phil Cosius at third. And now behind Matsui, 3 balls and a strike. His first 2 months of the season hung around the top spot in the West fairly well. And that one misses low for ball 4. 2 outs. And Matsui is aboard for Josh Willingham, the DH.
Colby threw 6 straight strikes and then 4 straight balls. I think with 2 outs and nobody on, he's being careful to Matsui, making sure to keep the fastball down out of the good hitter zone. Well, he's not wasting. He's eating that like someone else is going to try to get some from him.
He is transfixed by it too.
That's some concentration right there.
Here is Willingham, who has had a very productive year. 23 homers, 82 runs batted in. And half of his 4 hits against Colby have been homers. Willingham in a 20-game slump of late, hitting .214. This one high and very deep to left field, and it is another home run for Josh Willingham, his 24th of the year, and the A's take a 2-0 lead.
Well, Colby's been plagued by the long ball, and one of the reasons is poor location with his fastball. And he pitched carefully to Matsui, gets behind Willingham and throws it right down the middle of the plate. Willingham hits a home run.
Boy, and a majestic shot it was. Chavez turned and then almost couldn't even bear to watch. He just knew it was going to be well up in those seats and about 3/4 of the way up. Brandon Allen, who has really impressed people at Oakland since being acquired in the Brad Ziegler trade at the deadline from the Diamondbacks. He has put on some impressive power displays. Not here, though. He strikes out to end the Oakland first, but they get 2 runs on the Willingham home run, and now Ian Kinsler, the Rangers, coming to bat. in as usual with Ian Kinsler, Elvis Andrus, Michael Young DHing, batting third in the absence of Josh Hamilton. Adrian Beltre's first game since he has been healthy again off the DL to bat cleanup. Murphy is in right, Napoli behind the plate. Mitch Moreland at first. Eddie Chavez moves up to the 8th spot and over to left field, and Craig Gentry bats ninth and plays center against the former Ranger having a terrific year, Brandon McCarthy.
Yeah, Brandon McCarthy has started 21 times. He's got an excellent record. 3.41 ERA is nice. One of the best things he does is he doesn't walk anybody. He's only walked 22 all season long. Last 3 starts have gone really well, including a shutout in his last start. 2 or fewer walks in almost every start, every one except one. He had 2 complete games in his last start. He shut out Seattle. He lost to Cleveland 2-1. Gave up a couple of runs in 8 innings, and in each one of those starts he struck out 10 batters. So he's on a nice roll right now. He's pitching the way now that the Rangers hoped he would be pitching when they made the trade for him. But in between, there's been a lot of injuries. In fact, he's been on the disabled list again this year. If he can stay healthy, a lot of potential there. Always has been.
2-0 pitch is in there for a strike. What a series, what a road trip for Kinsler. Wednesday, 2 homers. Last 7 games, 7 home runs. And 11 driven in. And that misses just low, 3 balls and a strike. So Kinsler now the second half home run leader in the American League with 15 of his 28. Big wind by McCarthy, and he misses high. And as rare as a walk is, even rarer, a leadoff walk to begin the game. You see what Kinsler has done so far. Just the first 8 days of September. First in Major League history to homer each of the first 7 days of the month. 8 of 9 hits for extra bases. And a leadoff walk here. Elvis Andrus also had a good road trip. 8 for 21. Walked 8 times. Scored 9 times. Getting on base more. Taking more walks. Chops this one to Sizemore, already playing in on the edge of the grass. But it works like a sacrifice. Kinsler down in scoring position with 1 out for Michael Young. Michael steps in at .333. Still second in the American League. Adrian Gonzalez of Boston still the leader. He's 3rd best in the majors. Reyes of the Mets 2 points ahead of Michael beginning play. And he has had a good run of success, as you saw, against his former teammate. 5 out of 13 so far. Road trip for the Rangers. Went 3-3. Won 2 out of 3 in Boston. Lost 2 out of 3 at Tampa Bay. But now 15 of the final 18 games of the season will be within the division. With the exception being the Indians, who are in next Tuesday through Thursday to complete this 6-game homestand. Check the Oakland defense. Matsui, Crisp, DeJesus, the outfield. Sizemore, Pennington, Weeks, and Allen in the infield. And Kurt Suzuki doing the catching. Oh-2 pitch coming for Michael Young. Adrian Beltre in the on-deck circle. Rangers trying to come right back at McCarthy and the A's. As that one is slapped for another foul to the right. And still no balls and 2 strikes. 15 of the last 18 within the division. 6 each against the A's and the Mariners. And the Rangers are 19-7 in these 2 season series as we head down the stretch. Out of bluffing off of second base. McCarthy knocks that one down. That's going to be it. And the Rangers have runners on the corners with one out for Adrian Beltre.
That's a good break for the Rangers. That's a pretty easy ball. That's a great example of a pitcher not helping himself out by fielding his position. It wasn't a hard hit ball. Hit right back near him. McCarthy falls a little bit off to the first base side, but still got a glove on the ball. Just wasn't able to catch it. That's a pretty easy play to make. He just forgot to catch the ball and then didn't get a real good break because the ball rolled far enough away from him where Michael beat it out.
So it's an E1. And here is Beltre. Adrian 2 for 5 on Wednesday. He has a hit in all 7 games he's played since coming off the disabled list. 5 runs batted in.
McCarthy's pitched against the Rangers 3 times this year, and he's given up at least 1 unearned run in every game. He gave up 4 unearned runs the first time. He's got a chance to give up another unearned run right here.
First bit of trouble he caused himself by walking the leadoff man Kinsler, who now takes his walking lead off of third. And that one headed down the line, into the corner it goes. Kinsler scores. Young will be held at third base. Adrian Beltre with an RBI double gets the Rangers on the board.
Well, the Rangers took advantage of the opportunity. An unusual walk by McCarthy. An error on an easy ball back to the mound, and then a rope for Adrian Beltre and a chance to score more.
Went down and got that ball and jerked it. One hop off the wall out there and left. 82nd RBI for Beltre, and he now has a 14-game hitting streak, the longest current streak in the league. Second and third for David Murphy. You cannot find a Ranger swinging a hotter bat than David is at the moment as he takes strike 1 down the middle. Season numbers up to 270 because he hit .462 on the road trip. 12 out of 26, homered twice, drove in 8, had a couple of 4-hit games.
He had some good pitches too. The game in Tampa Bay where he had the big game. He had a low changeup, a low curveball, ripped a fastball from a left-hander into right field for a base hit. Just for good measure, he had a hanging curveball to left center field too. He had a little bit of everything in that game. Pretty much everything they threw up there at him.
Reaches and fouls that off, a ball and 2 strikes. David attributing this hot streak to more psychology than mechanics. Remembering how good at bats have felt, even back to late last year. Getting that muscle memory to work for him. And that has proved to be an excellent way for David to come out of what basically was a season-long slump. Not been used nearly as often as last year until the Nelson Cruz injury. Cruz, by the way, according to Ron Washington, ahead of the curve in healing his hamstring. He'd be back available sooner than anybody thought. Low for a ball, 2-2. Bob Melvin taking over after Bob Guerin was fired early in the season. It was basically made of a 500 team. But with their slow start, they are still 13 under 500 for the year. And again, Murphy is a little bit behind that pitch, but he continues to work the at-bat. And the next pitch will be McCarthy's 20th. And he still has only 1 out to show for those first 20. Landed out of Colorado Springs. Already a career high with 8 wins. One more than he had here 2 years ago. Breaking ball. Fouled off again. The battle continues. Tom said back-to-back complete games for McCarthy, and in the last 7 years the only other A's pitcher to manage that, Dallas Braden, who has been out for most of this year. There's a little looper out into center. Coco Crisp makes the catch, but Michael Young will race home to tie the game at 2 apiece. Another run batted in for David Murphy.
Again, he's taking advantage of the opportunities, and it's good at bat for David. He didn't hit the ball hard, but he did what he had to do. He had to make contact, get the ball in the air, get it deep enough, get one of those runs in. And along at bat, he was behind in the count. Got a pitch that he could hit just deep enough to center field to get that job done.
The 8th pitch, finally to Murphy's liking. So a 2-2 tie, as the lead held up for only the first 5 batters for McCarthy. Now here is Mike Napoli, coming off a 4-hit game. And that was his 2nd of the season. This one came in front of his grandparents back home in Florida. Napoli, like a lot of the Rangers, feasting on A's pitching this year. He's hit in 6 of the first 7 meetings. And you look at his last year with the Angels to his first year with the Rangers.
And I like what Joe Madden said, basically, to paraphrase what he said. Mike Napoli's never been a better hitter than he is right now. And Joe Madden was a coach when he came up with the Angels. It's pretty much obvious if you look at the numbers, but getting a chance to watch him play every day, you really appreciate the improvement that he's made in his game offensively. It's one thing to be a power hitter, have some home run power, but I think he's taken that to a higher level and become right now a 300 hitter to go along with it. So he's not only a good power hitter, he's a good hitter.
Good at taking walks as well. But McCarthy gets him swinging in a first inning in which the Rangers quickly tie the game at 2. 2 runs on a hit, an error, and 1 left. Joel Thomas. Joel?
Thanks, Dave. Hey, what a difference 20 degrees makes, huh? Finally, the Rangers start. It's not sweltering out here, and we've got a good crowd enjoying the cooler weather. We're in Community Corner to talk about something starter C.J. Wilson has been up to lately. On August 29th, he hosted an evening at the movies. There was a lot of food and fun as they saw the film Sandlot, but it was also to raise money for C.J. Wilson's children's charities. About 130 fans showed up at 7th Street Movie Tavern in Fort Worth. They got autographs and pictures with C.J. All told, they raised more than $2,000. For information about C.J. Wilson's children's charities, go to leftylefty.com. Dave?
All right, Joel, thanks very much. Cliff Pennington took a strike, fouls off that curveball, and quickly behind no balls and 2 strikes, leading off the A's second. Pennington having a very productive month of September so far. He has driven in 10 runs already.
Yeah, Pennington's a good, solid player. He's always played pretty well against the Rangers. He moved up in the lineup, hitting 6th today.
Colby gets him swinging.
If Colby can locate his fastball, it looks like his breaking ball is really good. He's gotten an out from Crisp on a ground ball, and he struck out Allen and Pennington on hard breaking balls down and in. Oh, that's a good sign. Really, the one bad pitch he made was the home run that Willingham hit. Now, before that, he'd thrown, I think, 4 or 5 straight fastballs out of the strike zone, but the one to Willingham was near the middle of the plate.
So here is David DeJesus, and he takes it inside, corner strike. DeJesus comes here in a pretty deep slump, 3 for 24 his last 7 games. Lewis tries to work the other corner and just misses. A lot of strikeouts, not much contact lately. And the .233 average would easily be a career low. As he takes low, 2 balls and a strike. DeJesus coming over from Kansas City in the offseason for a couple of pitchers. And that time Colby gets the outside corner strike, and it's 2-2. Last year, a career year for DeJesus at .318.
Tried to do the same thing to DeJesus. Throw that breaking ball down and get him to swing at it, but DeJesus laid off it. Allen and Pennington both swung at it.
.3-2 pitch, belted foul. All right, ricochet way over the head of the ball girl out there. So David Murphy over for an assist. Last year, injuries ended the season for DeJesus a couple of months early. Thumb surgery. This one is lifted high in the air. Carrying well, deep right center field. Who makes the call? It's Craig Gentry for out number 2.
Well, DeJesus gave it a pretty good ride, almost probably 390 feet to right center field. Fortunately, got underneath it a little bit.
Also, fortunately, there is no jet stream at the moment. Basically, there's no wind at all. What wind we had at the beginning of the game was coming in from left center, not the usual right center. It might have helped out. But instead, 2 outs. And here's the catcher, Suzuki. And Suzuki basically is still emerging from basically a season-long slump. And he has some things going well now, hitting .321 his last 16 games. Veteran catcher out of Cal State Fullerton. National championship program there. And a sharp grounder through the hole for a base hit. So Suzuki with a 2-out single. Second hit allowed by Lewis. And now the number 9 hitter, the third baseman Scott Sizemore, will try and keep the A's second going. Sizemore over from the Tigers May 27th. David Percy, the other member of that trade. And whether with the Tigers or the A's, Sizemore simply has not hit Ranger pitching. 2 for 26. 7 meetings coming into tonight. That trade made when the A's were still in contention. And on the check swing, he did hold up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Just a few days before he came over, the A's were tied for first. 22-20 record. That was May 17th. Since then, 43-58. And a fly ball center field. Gentry is there. And the A's get only the 2-out single by Suzuki after 1.5. Tied at 2. The Rangers order against Brandon McCarthy, beginning with Mitch Moreland. Andy Chavez will bat second. Craig Gentry third, as the A's got 2 in their half of the first. On a walk and a home run by Josh Willingham, the Rangers came right back and got 2 in their half of the first. Capitalizing on a walk and an error, 2 runs, 1 of which was unearned. On only 1 hit, the RBI double by Adrian Beltre. Moreland sends that one into the gap and headed for the wall. Deepest part of the yard, right under the 407 mark. And Mitch chugs into second base with a leadoff double.
He hit that low fastball great. That looked like the ball that Josh Hamilton hit in Boston for the bases loaded triple. Low fastball down around in the knees. And Mitch had a great swing at it. And just drove that ball into the gap.
The hardest hit balls we've seen in a while from Mitch. Maybe that gets him going. Scuffle to a 3 for 15 road trip, and it gets the Rangers started here in the second. Go ahead run, and here is Chavez. Takes outside after flashing bunt. Indians hit McCarthy well, and the A's in general very well. A career .388 average against Oakland pitching. Pops up the bunt right back to McCarthy. An easy first out.
You're better off if you're going to bunt with a man on second. You're not. He's got no chance of beating that ball out for a base hit. The second baseman's in. The first baseman's in. Then you're better off bunting it to third base. If you bunt it hard like that to first base, he can throw Mitch out at third base. You see where the first baseman's bunting. The only way, I don't know how he can get that ball down and get Mitch to third base if he bunts it on that side of the field. If you bunt it down the third base side, make the third baseman field it, then you get the sacrifice bunt. There's not much grass on the right side of the infield if you're going to try to bunt him over. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what Ron's saying to him.
Craig Gentry gets one through to the middle, base hit, and Dave Anderson throws up the break sign to keep Moreland at third, and Craig Gentry, 2 for his last 20, comes through with a solid base hit.
You see that so many times. The man on second base takes off for third and then stops about 2/3 of the way toward third base because he thinks the ball might be caught. Watch Mitch. Going to go toward third here. No, he's going back. I was wrong. He's going back. I thought he was a little farther off third base. Although if Weeks catches that ball, Pennington comes behind Mitch, and they probably got him at second base anyway. Point is, once you get far enough off, you might as well keep going because you're going to get doubled off anyway. Your instincts take over, though. You see the line drive and you say, ooh, I better check and get back. Now, if you're that far off, you're probably not going to get back anyway.
Back to the top of the order. Kinsler lines it right to Pennington.
Well, not much you can do about that. You get a pitch to hit, you take a great swing at it, you hit it hard, and then you have to have a little bit of luck that it doesn't go right at somebody. Unfortunately, that goes right at the shortstop.
Ian seems to be hitting everything right on the nose. Now 2 outs, and Elvis Andrus, who grounded to third, and the only pitch he saw in his first at bat. Elvis lately driving home some runs. 18 games to go, and already at a career high with 51 runs batted in. Really had an excellent road trip, offensively and defensively. Hayes very aware that Gentry has not been thrown out yet trying to steal. He's 14 for 14. That's the most without being caught of any major leaguer. And he is going. No throw from Suzuki. There is stolen base number 15 for Craig Gentry.
Well, they just felt with a couple of outs, the throw to second wasn't worth the risk. Make a bad throw, goes into center field, you score a run. Gentry is an excellent base stealer. They don't even have anyone covering second base, so they were going to let him go if he decided to go. Gentry hasn't been thrown out yet, 15 straight.
So now all set up for Elvis. Base hit. Rangers can lead by 2 as he takes ball 3. 3-0 to Andrus with Young on deck. And Elvis with a check swing and a pitch down the middle.
Yeah, you have to think Elvis was taken right there. It's almost like he was going to practice the first half of his swing without going through with his swing on the 3-0 pitch. You know what he's saying right now? I hope I see the same pitch 3-1. That was right down the middle of the plate.
Nope, in on his fists. And it will finally eventually come down, and Weeks has it. And McCarthy scrambles to get off the hook, an inning that began with the double at first and third with one man out, but the Rangers couldn't score. Brought to you by Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com today. Toyota, moving forward. And by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. And between innings, the Congratulations Adrian banner for 2,000 career hits unveiled out in center field. A nice long ovation for Adrian. And Jemile Weeks takes strike one from Colby Lewis. He flied to center to begin the game.
Yeah, although Adrian, it's really not something he likes to talk about or wants to talk about. At his age, where he is right now, he's got a legitimate shot to shoot for 3,000 hits. He got to the big leagues at a very young age. That's one of the reasons why.
Starting for the Dodgers at 19. The really remarkable thing to me is he had only picked up baseball at age 12. So 7 years from the time he first picked up a bat, he's in the major leagues. No T-ball for Adrian. 2-2 to Weeks. Weeks coming off a 4-hit game on Wednesday. And 102 hits in his first 80 games in an Oakland uniform. That is the fastest in Oakland A's franchise history to get to 100 career hits. Left field. Chavez comes in, waits, grabs out number one.
I want to have a little shout out for Chuck and Linda Bice from Tyler, Texas. 45th wedding anniversary tomorrow. Chuck's the former baseball coach at Lamar High School. Then he went on to coach at Tyler Lee. But more importantly, he's Jim Price's best friend. A lot of people in Arlington know who Jim Price is. He was the longtime basketball coach at Young Junior High. 9th grade coach. Coached both my boys. Coach Price, I hope you're watching right now. If you are, I know you're rooting for the Rangers. Jim's a huge memorabilia collector of the Rangers. Big Ranger fan.
2 balls and no strikes to Coco Crisp. So does he have extensive Tom Grieve collection?
I don't think he does. I think he's looking for better stuff than that. He's a good friend of ours. I know that. Also, Julie Darian sent us a nice batch of cookies. Saw her husband in Boston, and he promised us that she would do that. We didn't necessarily hold him to that promise, but
we didn't have to.
We didn't have to. She brought us the cookies today. Thank you very much for those cookies, Julie.
2 balls and 2 strikes now to Crisp. Much different hitter from the left side. At a 70-point difference, and the count now runs full. Crisp missing a good chunk of time with injury, 21 games. And a ground ball.
They got the last time up.
Very familiar out for Crisp. He was twice rolled out to Ian.
I'd like to keep Crisp off the bases too. He's stolen 40 bases this year.
Well, each of the first 3 innings have begun with Colby retiring the first 2 A's hitters.
And between Weeks and Crisp, they've had 61 stolen bases. So Kobe's done a good job so far in this game of keeping both of them off base.
And Matsui grounds the first pitch up the middle for a base hit.
So Kobe's got the first 2 outs in all 3 innings, and then the third hitter has gotten on base, Matsui, twice with a walk and a hit.
First inning he walked. 2 pitches later, Willingham had gone 398 feet into the left field stands. Second inning, 2 outs. Suzuki singled, but Sizemore quickly ended the inning with a fly ball. And now Willingham again after hitting his 24th of the season. And Tom Halligan giving the low strike. Fairly good pitcher's strike zone being called tonight. I said Willingham slumping in terms of batting average, but has shown already tonight that he is still finding ways to be productive. Strikes out an awful lot, though, 131 times this year. Most in his career, 6th in the league. And Colby trying to get the finishing pitches going behind Willingham here. There's a good swing and miss slider, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, Willingham's seen fastballs. In fact, he hit a home run on a fastball. Fastball's the first 3 pitches, and then a slider. Looked just like a fastball to him, I'm sure. See ya.
Gets him looking with a fastball.
Slider away, set up the fastball in.
Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Rangers game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit TexasRangers.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Michael Young to lead off the Ranger third. In the first, he reached on an 0-2 pitch, bounced up to the middle. McCarthy only able to deflect it, and then Adrian Beltre stepped up and doubled in the first Ranger run, scoring Kinsler. Young would score on a Murphy sacrifice fly. The Rangers threatened in the second, at second and third. Couldn't bring anybody home. Big rip and a miss, and it's 2-1. Held off 2-2. Tom, there is good news to report. Stella Faith Hamilton was born at 6:35 tonight. You're told everything went well. Stella and Katie in good shape. Our congratulations to the Hamilton.
Very nice.
Josh now has 4 daughters. Josh and Katie.
I'd say he's going to be outweighed in almost every situation. Outvoted. Hope the girls don't gang up on him over the years.
Line drive in and out of the mid of Allen, but he recovers to get the out. Another hard hit out for the Rangers. So they've got now Stella Faith to join Julia Shea, Sierra Elise, and Michaela Grace. Our congratulations again to the Hamiltons. So that's why Young batting third, Adrian Beltre batting cleanup. First time he's been at the cleanup spot since coming off the disabled list. We saw that banner just a few minutes ago unfurled out in center, congratulating him for his 2000th career hit, which came on the road trip. Back home, he doubled in the first Ranger run, his 82nd run batted in, and now a 14-game hitting streak. A high pop, which will land in the seats. On an absolutely windless night. 88 degrees for our first pitch. Coolest temperatures here since May 25th. 84 degrees for the first pitch that night. It is absolutely perfect. A full moon rises above left field. And the Rangers definitely needing to get this homestand off on the right foot. Their lead 2.5 in the division over the Angels. And a half game back of Detroit now for the third best record in the league. McCarthy handles this comebacker. There's out number 2. Tigers, by the way, are trailing at home. They're batting the bottom of the third. Minnesota got 4 in the first. Tigers got 3 in the second. So at the moment, it's the Yankees, the Tigers, and the Rangers, the divisional leaders, and the Red Sox would be the wild card, trailing the Yankees by 2.5 in the East, leading Tampa Bay by 6.5 in the wild card standings. David Murphy takes strike 1. First time up, sac fly to center, brought home his 41st run batted into the year. Major League players to score 100+ runs this season. Name the other 3. Ian starting the day with 101. He's already up to 102 runs. Scoring after his leadoff walk in the first. Brandon Allen leading off the A's fourth. He struck out to end the first. And 0-2. Brandon Allen has already hit some prodigious home runs in an A's uniform. Longest home run at the new Yankee Stadium off of Bartolo Colon. The second so far to hit the top of the right field stands. 2 home runs in his first game at Yankee Stadium.
That's pretty good to hit him that far. He's only hit 3, so he's making the most out of the ones he has hit. That's the same pitch he got him with last time. That looks like a little bit of a bad zone for him.
Let's check in with Joel Thomas.
Hey, Dave, thank you. I've got my buddy Jacob here. He's 4 years old from Fort Worth to help show you some of the cool things that are being handed out this weekend. Hold up that soccer ball for me, Jacob. Hold it up high. This is the soccer ball that's going to be held out tomorrow, and this one has a really nice soccer ball. Got the Rangers logo all over it. Reminder, tomorrow is a 3 o'clock game. The first 10,000 kids under 13 will get one of these. Thank you, buddy. You like that ball? Okay, that's yours. Take it. And then on Sunday, we have the Patriotic Hat Day. Now, we've got the Texas logo on here in red, white, and blue. This is in honor of the anniversary of 9/11. The first 35,000 fans to the park at the 2 o'clock game will get one of these. Dave?
All right, Joel. Good-looking stuff out there. 1-1 to Pennington. He struck out his first trip. Colby with 4 strikeouts through 3 1/3. A's have a hit in each of the first 3 innings. Now 3 balls and a strike to Pennington. DeJesus will be next. And right in there at the knees for a full count. Oakland most of the year right down at the bottom offensively with Seattle. They've come on, had a decent second half. Pennington grounds out to his opposite number, Andrews. And now all 4 innings, Colby has gotten the first 2 men. Let's see if now he can have his first 1, 2, 3 inning. David DeJesus worked the count full fly to center back in the second inning. The A's offensively actually now 4th from the bottom, hitting .246, which only looks good when you consider where they were the first 3-4 months of the year. '11th in scoring, 12th in home runs, and only 9th in on-base percentage. And the reason why that is worth pointing out is because the entire philosophy of the A's organization under general manager Billy Beane has been about getting on base. You see the improvement overall in the second half. And I would assume the upcoming movie Moneyball will delve into that philosophy, but this franchise to work, Billy Beane has always based it on getting aboard, and this Oakland team has not been great at that at all this year. Wednesday shut out for the 3rd time in their last 7 games. And for the 10th time this season. A big Friday night crowd behind Lewis with the 2-2 pitch. Got him looking. There's a 1-2-3 inning. Is it ever?
He must have been looking for a breaking ball. He took the fastball.
2 strikeouts as the A's go in order in the 4th. AT trivia question. Ian, one of 4 major leaguers with 100 runs this season. The other 3 are Curtis Granderson, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Adrian Gonzalez. Pretty much all MVP candidates on that graphic as Mike Napoli starts the Ranger fourth with a big cut and a miss. McCarthy struck him out his first time up to end the first inning. Both runs for both teams scoring in that first. Rangers threatened in the second. A leadoff double by Moreland. First and third turned into second and third. Gentry single stole a base, but Kinsler lined out. Andrews popped out. And 5 in a row set down by McCarthy here as he's up 0-2 on Napoli. Just able to check his swing. Each team 2 runs on 3 hits. A's have the only error. And a wave and a miss at that breaking ball. Napoli looking fairly well fooled. He strikes out for the second time.
First baseman, Mitch Moreland.
Both of McCarthy's strikeouts are against Napoli.
Mike has probably missed a couple of fastballs today that he hasn't been missing. Never would have gotten to that point. But that was a curveball did fool Mike. You could tell by the hesitation in the middle of his swing.
Now Mitch Moreland, who led off the second with the double. And takes the high strike. That ended an 0 for 17 here at the ballpark for Mitch. And a 3 for 31 over his last 10 games. Line shot here out in center field. Crisp gets to it. Another hard hit out.
Mitch hit that ball almost the exact same way he hit the other line shot double, only pulled the double and hit that one right at center field. Almost an identical trajectory. Both of them hit extremely hard.
So 2 outs. Here's Endy Chavez, who tried to bunt Moreland over to third in the second, but popped it up. And it went out to Brandon McCarthy. Corner infielders Sizemore and Allen, edge of the grass, just in case Endy tries to bunt his way on. Close game so far. Wednesday's 5-4 10-inning loss at Tampa Bay. The first Ranger game decided by less than 2 runs since August 30th. And the home run cut there by Endy comes up empty. Rangers' first extra inning game since August 5th. So many blowouts since then. Mostly by the Rangers. The pitcher's duel here. Almost through 4 complete. In fact, the Rangers have had only 1 save opportunity in the last 18 games. Chavez strikes out. And Brandon McCarthy has his second straight 1-2-3 inning. He has set down 8 consecutive Rangers, and through 4 still 2-2. City Toyota. Come see us at sportscitytoyota.com. And by Whataburger, just like you like it. Tom Breed, big Friday night crowd welcoming the Rangers home for the first of this 6-game homestand. Last visit by the Oakland A's. Kurt Suzuki fouls that first pitch off the mask of Mike Napoli. He singled with 2 outs in the second, his first time up. And he shakes that off. He's got their runs in the first. 2-out walk to Hideki Matsui, followed by a home run to left by Josh Willingham. The Rangers got those 2 back in their half of the first. Kinsler led with a walk. 1 out. Young reached on an error. Beltre doubled in a run. Murphy drove in the tying run on a sacrifice fly. Since then, it's been Lewis and McCarthy matching zeros. Each team with 3 hits. Rangers have left 3, and the A's have left 2. Comebacker, handled by Lewis.
Well, both pitchers settling down pretty nicely in this game. Colby really hasn't had a lot of problems in this game other than the one pitch that got away from him in the middle of the plate to Willingham, hit for a 2-run homer. Other than that, Colby's been pretty nicely in charge of this game.
A completely different outing than the Saturday at Boston. Much more like Colby Lewis that we're accustomed to seeing. This is kind of the postseason version of Colby from a year ago. Colby that beat the Yankees a couple times in the ALCS. The only Ranger to win a game of the World Series against the Giants. Up on Sizemore, 0-2. Scott fly to center to end the second. And looks at strike 3. 6 strikeouts by Colby Lewis.
A lot of them have been fastballs looking too. De Jesus was a fastball. Willingham was a fastball. Sizemore is a fastball. And good velocity with that last fastball. 92 miles an hour for Colby. Colby's throwing the ball better as the game goes on. The breaking ball has definitely caught the attention of the A's hitters to the point where they're not pulling the trigger on the fastball. I think they probably have seen Colby enough. This is the 5th time that Colby has pitched against him, that they know generally when Colby gets ahead with 2 strikes, he likes to come at you with a breaking ball to try and strike you out. Today, Colby's had a little bit different style. It's been more fastballs for the strikeouts than breaking balls. Just 6 strikeouts. I guess 3 and 3. 3 breaking balls down and into left-hand hitters. 3 fastballs looking. Allen twice and Pennington both swinging at breaking balls down and in.
And he seems, Tom, to be pretty well dialed in now on the Tom Hallion strike zone, taking advantage of the outer edges of that zone. At least 1 strikeout every inning. 2 in the 4th. Just missing there. Ball and 2 strikes. And his 76th pitch of the night is ripped over Ian Kinsler. And a 2-out single by Jemile Weeks. So they have had a hit in every inning except the 4th.
That's part of the strike zone you want to stay away from right there. Colby obviously aware of that, wasn't trying to throw it right there.
So that'll bring up Crisp. Kinsler has handled the 2 ground balls so far off the bat of Coco. Goes after the first pitch here. Looper, long run. Gentry gets there. A hit, a strikeout. 1 left in the A's 5th. We are still 2-2. One is brought to you by Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com today. Toyota, moving forward. Bottom of the fifth, 2-2 game. Big Friday night crowd, and Craig Gentry takes strike one. Craig singled and stole second back in the second inning. The Rangers had second and third, one out, but failed to score. And since then, McCarthy has retired 8 in a row. Up on Craig, no balls and 2 strikes. McCarthy, when he recorded his first out tonight, qualified for the league leaders in a number of categories. There's his 4th strikeout, his 3rd in the last 4 batters. He got Napoli and Chavez both swinging in the 4th. That's one of the areas in which he is now 2nd in the league. Strikeout to walk ratio, 4.7 strikeouts for every walk. And tonight, 4 strikeouts with 1 walk.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good numbers like that. He's 4th in the league in fewest home runs per 9 innings. Given up 8 of them. 8 home runs, 7 have been solo home runs. 7 have also been hit by left-hand hitters. Only 1 home run to a right-hand hitter.
Top of the order in Kinsler, who worked the only walk as the first batter of the game.
He had a great chance to drive in a run, 1st and 3rd, and 1 out. Hit a line shot right at Pennington. And able to lay off those borderline pitches, boy. Walked more than he struck out this year. I don't think there's many guys that would have walked if they saw the exact same pitches that Ian saw the first time up.
Rolls this one to short. Pennington charges. Tough luck. Couldn't get it out of his glove and pulls Allen off the bag, and Kinsler is aboard.
Yeah, he knew he had to charge it hard. He got to it nicely, but then as he went to throw it, couldn't get out of his glove. That'll lead to an infield hit for Ian. Third baseman can't get to it. Right there. Just took a little bit too much time, and then it was too late. Infield hit.
Looked like without the double clutch, he probably gets him.
Yeah, I think he does.
Fairly safe as it was. Yeah, just 3 extra steps.
He felt his chances for making that assist disappear with those 2 steps he had to take while he was trying to get the ball out of his glove.
So Kinsler, the Rangers' first base runner since the 2nd inning. Elvis is grounded to 3rd and popped to 2nd. Another area in which McCarthy is now 3rd in the league. Walks per 9 innings, just under 1.5 per 9. So all about control. Getting ahead, finishing you off. Since the rocky first, he's been very adept at that stronghold of his game. 20 strikeouts and 1 walk or less in a 2-start span. That's what McCarthy came in to this game. Well, Vida Blue, that magical 1971 season, 24 strikeouts, 2 games, did not walk a batter. Did it again 76. Dave Stewart in 87. And McCarthy in his last 2 starts. Saturday, his 4th complete game of the year. First win in a complete game. 3-hit masterpiece. No walk, struck out 10. Runner goes. Chop foul. And the start before that, August 29th at Cleveland. Hard luck 2-1 loss. 8-inning complete game. 1 walk and 10 strikeouts. Allowing only 5 hits in that one. Rangers with 4 hits here. Trying to get a leg up in a game that's been tied at 2 since the first inning ended. And again, Kinsler takes off as it is looped to center field over the head, carrying well over Chris and all the way to the wall. Here comes Kinsler, and the Rangers take a 3-2 lead.
Another thing we've seen from Elvis over the last 3 weeks is he's starting to hit with more power. Drove that long home run at Boston. That ball was hit well. Maybe earlier in the year, earlier in his career, that line drive is probably not hit quite that far. Maybe doesn't go over Chris' head. It looks like Elvis is getting stronger as the season goes on and driving the ball even better.
Off the bat, I didn't think it was going to carry that far.
I don't think Chris did either. He didn't get a terrible jump on it, but I think as he was going after it, he was probably surprised how hard Elvis hit it.
So 52 RBIs now. Career high every time he drives in a run. Michael Young now reached on a McCarthy error in the first, scored the tying run, last time grounded to first. Runs on 5 hits now for the Rangers, no errors. Oakland 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, making one of the 2 first inning runs unearned. Fouled off Suzuki, and it's 0-2.
Had another birthday that we didn't get to, Dave. Vera Dickey is 85 years old today. In fact, she's out here at the ballpark today. Glad you could be here, Vera, and happy 85th birthday.
She picked a great night to be out here.
Did.
Down to 83. Not much breeze. Beautiful moon rising out above left field. The Rangers now leading 3-2. What else could you ask for? 1-2 to Michael. A's have passed the Rangers. A while back, most errors in the league. Most unearned runs in baseball. Young scoring the unearned run in the first tonight. And a run in here. Only 1 out. Andrews scoring position. And Michael fouls another one back. Well, that Detroit-Minnesota game, in which Minnesota got 4 in the top half of the first, is now 7-4 Tigers. They got 3 in the second, 3 more in the fourth, and 1 in the fifth. Brad Penny is on the mound for Detroit. Broken bat. Easy play. Handled by Cliff Pennington, and there's the second out. McCarthy sawed that one right out of Michael's hands. So with 2 outs, up to Adrian Beltre to try to add to the lead.
Michael doesn't get jammed very often. He stands far enough off the plate, and he doesn't swing at that pitch very much. A pitch that's quite a bit inside. I don't remember the last time Michael broke a bat like that. Most of the balls that Michael gets are out over the plate, away from him, and he likes to drive those pitches to right center field. Very seldom will you see that.
Also, very seldom will you see him, almost never, in fact, this year, pop up to the infield. That really more of a pop up than a line drive.
Wade Boggs went a whole year without doing that one time. Close to it, anyway.
I think I remember that, too. That one is hit deep, hooking, foul in the corner.
That ball was just a little bit far, a little bit too inside for him to keep it fair. Trying to throw it down and away, and it's up and in. It was right in the middle. He probably would have hit it home. Would have hit a home run.
Chopped toward the hole, fielded by Sizemore, whirls, and Allen can't make the dig. Andrews scores all the way from second base, and it's 4-2.
You could see that one coming. I think Sizemore knew that he might have a little extra time because Adrian's not running as well because of his hamstring injury. But then he had a long throw, couldn't make it accurately, and Allen wasn't able to pick the low throw in the ground. And you know Elvis is not going to stop right here. Once that ball bounced off Allen, Elvis was almost all the way home. Elvis just keeps right on going.
So 4-2. And that is an E5 on the throw by Sizemore. The second A's error of the night. And here is Murphy. Drove in a run in the first on a sacrifice fly. Last time fouled out to Sizemore.
I think that's 8 unearned runs that McCarthy's given up in 4 games against the Rangers. It's not exactly 8. It's somewhere right around there.
Well, partially on him tonight.
Yeah.
His error in the first.
Yep, a walk and an error, probably the reason the Rangers got those 2 runs.
Going inside to David, 2 balls and a strike. Murphy hitting well, has always hit well against Oakland pitching. He has hit in 15 of the last 16 games against the A's at a .368 clip. Low, 3 balls and a strike. Another note on that outing that McCarthy had last Saturday. The 3rd A's pitcher in the last 98 years to combine a complete game, shutout, 3 or fewer hits, no walks, 10 strikeouts. Catfish Hunter did it in his perfect game 1968 against the Twins, and Bobby Witt did it in 1994 against Kansas City. That was the outing before this one for McCarthy. Very different experience so far here against the Rangers. 3-2 to Murphy.
McCarthy could have that type of a game going with a little bit better defense. If he made the play on Michael Young's tapper, there's a chance the Rangers don't score in the first inning. If Pennington makes the play on Kinsler's infield hit, a pretty decent chance the Rangers don't score in this inning. So the Oakland defense has not been strong in this game, and the Rangers have taken advantage of that.
Maybe the throw, pitch number 85. And it is going to be a pretty easy play out in left center field for Crisp. But the Rangers take the lead. 2 runs on 2 hits and error. 1 man left on to the 6th. It's now 4-2 Texas. night of the season, and your last chance for half-price tickets in select seating areas from Ozarka website Wednesdays. Don't miss it this Wednesday at 6:05. Early start by an hour. Get your tickets today at TexasRangers.com/specials. Colby Lewis taking the mound with a lead for the first time tonight. He'll have Matsui, Willingham, and Allen here in the Oakland sixth. Difference, couple of unearned runs. One each in the Rangers' two-run first and fifth. Lewis has yet to retire Matsui. He walked with 2 outs in the first, scored on the Willingham homer, and singled with 2 outs in the third. The walk was very unusual. Matsui had gone 16 games without a walk until last Friday. And the Rangers putting a little bit of an overshift on here. Andrews playing just to the right of second. Kinsler short right. And Beltre swung way over in the shortstop hole. And Elvis playing him just right, and Matsui finally is retired. That'll bring up the DH Willingham. In the first, hit a 1-0 pitch well back. Majestic 398-foot home run into the left field seats. Lead erased in the bottom of the first. Last time up, caught looking. And goes after the first pitch here. And out to fairly deep left center field. Gentry has the second out. And let's check in with Joel Thomas.
Hey, thanks, Dave. We're here with Rangers Spanish language broadcaster Elena Ornales to talk about Hispanic Heritage Day tomorrow. And that's a big day, right?
Oh, yeah, it's a big day for the community. You know, big in Texas. Everything is big in Texas, and the Rangers do it. A few teams do it still in the Major Leagues to celebrate the Hispanic Heritage Night in Arlington. We're going to have a big night or a big day because it's going to be ballet folklorico. We're going to have mariachi singing, playing, and of course at the end after the game there is going to be at 3 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock.
Right.
The concert is going to be after the game. Is going to be Intocable playing after the game.
Right over on the north lawn. And we want to let folks again know it is a 3 o'clock start. And get here early because I understand, Dave, Alano is going to be playing with the mariachis and singing, right?
I want to sing a couple of songs before the game starts.
All right, don't want to miss that, Dave.
I got to hear that.
Gracias.
0-2 on Brandon Allen, who has struck out swinging.
Eleno delivered one of the greatest closing lines that I've heard in broadcasting against the Yankees last year. When the Rangers closed that out, it was, "In your face, Alex."
Well, Allen pops out. An 8-pitch, 1-2-3 6th inning for Colby Lewis. Getting sharper as this game gets deeper. 10 inning brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is up to $800 and dinner for two at a Sonic drive-in. And tonight the Rangers are hitting for Denise Stringfellow from Southlake. If a Ranger hits grand slam during this inning, Denise Stringfellow from Southlake will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. It's kind of a tongue twister. Say it with me, Tom. Denise Stringfellow from Southlake.
Denise Stringfellow from Southlake. You have to go slow. You have to go slow.
Better than me. Mike Napoli has struck out each of his first two trips against Brandon McCarthy. He leads off the Rangers' sixth. Then it'll be Moreland and Chavez. "17 more games after tonight, and looking like this will be in most of the major categories a career year for Mike." Started the day at 302. Two home runs from his career high. Already a career high in runs scored. But again, McCarthy sends Napoli back to the dugout, a swinging strikeout. And Mike has accounted for 3 of Brandon's 5 strikeouts on the night.
Yeah, just one of those games you have every now and then where Mike's timing's not quite there. Man, the way his timing has been there, you're entitled to a game like that every now and then.
Yeah, Mike started the day about 30 points better than his best season in terms of batting average, which was 273. Mitch Moreland has hit it well twice. Leadoff double in the second. Ended that inning stranded at third, and then a rocket straight to center field, and Coco Crisp made that catch back in the fourth. It looks, Tom, as if some of the Rangers, Napoli especially, might be having trouble picking up McCarthy's deliveries.
Yeah, it does. That's just what it looks like with Mike. And that could be. He's a big, tall, lanky guy. That could be the case.
So far, it's not been for Moreland. And he works the count to 3-0. As Brandon reaches 92 pitches. But coolest temperature at the ballpark for a game since May 25th. Warm by Bay Area standards, perhaps. Brandon has thrown as many as 114 pitches. He's done that twice, including his last outing against Seattle. This bouncer to Brandon Allen, unassisted. And there are 2 out in the Rangers' 6th as Andy Chavez steps up. Andy's had a tough night. Popped up a bunt back in the second, struck out 2 in the fourth. 88 degrees for our first pitch since the 1st of July. It has been at least 96 for every game until tonight. The blessed relief. McCarthy's improvement this year based on an adjustment with his arm angle. Not quite so much over the top, able to keep his spine straighter. Come a little more from the side or 3/4, and the results, especially lately, speak for themselves. Now if he can just stay healthy. And has already been an issue for him once this year. Spent time on the DL. Stress reaction in his right scapula. Missed from May 20th until July 3rd. Chavez sends this one deep to center field. Crisp on the track. Reaches up. He hangs on to make a catch up against the wall in straightaway center field, and robs Chavez for the third out. And to give it that a ride, terrific play by Coco Crisp. Heritage Month with a special pregame ceremony tomorrow, and then after the game, Intocable presents live music on the North Lawn. Admission is free with your Rangers ticket, and the day is presented by Coca-Cola, Head & Shoulders, and Osarka. For tickets, call 972-RANGERS. First pitch to Pennington, foul back. Cliff has struck out and grounded to short. That is grounded and just fair. Hugged the line. Moreland makes it an easy first out.
A lot of really good breaking balls from Kobe tonight. I don't think I can't remember hanging one of them. I think almost every one of them has been down, either a little bit out of the strike zone, got him to swing at some bad ones. And another curveball down at the bottom of the strike zone, gets a ground ball with it. Been an excellent assortment of off-speed pitches. And really, since the home run that Willingham hit on the fastball near the middle of the plate, not many fastballs anywhere near the middle of the plate either. Kobe's really turned it on since that home run the first inning.
De Jesus sends that one out to right center field. Craig Gentry puts it away. Well, this is playoff Colby, series Colby from last year. 6 2/3. Scattering 4 hits. No more than 1 hit in any inning. And he's retired 6 straight. 10 of the last 11 batters he's faced going back to the 3rd. Been a while since we've seen Colby in this steady a groove, and he starts Suzuki with the strike. Kurt a single with 2 outs in the 2nd, and retired on a comebacker to Lewis in the 5th. Colby needing only 8 pitches in the 1-2-3-6. 6 pitches so far.
Just misses the inside call, strike 3.
Good pitch, though. If you're going to miss in off the plate. Threw it right where he wanted to. You get him to swing at it, you probably jam him. Might even get the call on it. You can see the third pitch. It was well inside.
94th pitch of the night on the way. And he gets Suzuki swinging.
Another slider down right where he wanted it.
Colby Lewis at his best. Stretch time at the ballpark, 4-2 Rangers. TXA 21 brought to you by Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com today. Toyota moving forward. The A's moving forward as they go to their bullpen here. Texans Can Academy presents Runs for Kids. And Ian Kinsler scoring the first run on the Beltray double. Murphy sac fly brought home Michael Young. It's 2-2 after 1. On to the 5th. And a drive over the head of Crisp by Andrews. Doubling in a run. And then on the throwing error by Sizemore, Elvis scoring all the way from second base. Right off the car, not the kid. And McCarthy gives way now to the right-handed veteran Michael Wirtz.
Wirtz has been a good setup man. Been a little bit off on his command this year. He's got a few too many walks.
Gentry laying down a bunt. No chance as Sizemore's only hope was a bare hand pick. He couldn't do it. Gentry has his second hit of the game.
Well, that's taking advantage of one of his strengths. That's his speed. Good job right there, especially leading off an inning. Get that leadoff hitter on with speed. Top of the order coming up. Do a lot of things now. Very good bunt by Craig.
Gentry in his first 15 games coming off the disabled list on August 11th had 2 hits in 20 at bats. Tonight he's got 2 in 3 at bats. And after a single in the second inning, he stole second base. Up and into Kinsler. Walked and scored in the first. With a vicious line drive to Pennington. Retired in the second. Infield single in the 5th. And he scored the go-ahead run. front of that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. For Brandon McCarthy, a quality start. 6 innings, 4 runs, but only 2 were earned. 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, and that was to Kinsler's, the first batter of the game. Ended up scoring.
Yeah, Brandon McCarthy threw a solid game. Wasn't helped out by the defense. Part of that was his defense. But he had good stuff, pitched well.
Michael Wirtz off the disabled list a week ago today. This is just his 2nd outing since then. Right thumb tendonitis was the problem, as Mike Adams readies himself in the Ranger bullpen. Pitch out, and Gentry still steals second base. A very high throw by Kurt Suzuki.
Yeah, Gentry continues his perfect stolen base, stealing bases, perfect at stealing bases, what I'm trying to say. 16 out of 16 now.
Tom, it looks like he's safe even with a good throw here.
I think he probably was.
Even on a pitch out. So 16 for 16 now. Most of the majors without being caught. Scoring position for Ian, and the 2-1 pitch is lofted out to shallow right field. De Jesus comes on, and it's off the glove of Weeks. Gentry will make third. Another fielding faux pas by the A's.
Yeah, the A's have just been terrible tonight, is the only way you can describe it defensively.
That ball's got to be De Jesus's all the way, right?
I think it's De Jesus's ball. He's got to call for it, keep calling for it. Weeks has to get out of the way, and it's a relatively easy play for De Jesus. Now, I don't know if De Jesus is yelling for it, but generally, if an infielder hears the outfielder yelling for it, they peel off and get out of the way. It's the outfielder's ball all the way. Weeks didn't play that ball like he heard anything coming from De Jesus. A lot of balls just not played well defensively by the A's tonight, and the Rangers have been taking advantage of that.
Kinsler credited with a single there. As we look at our Toyota on the road American League Baseball scoreboard, Detroit 7-4, still up on Minnesota, bottom of the 7th. Baltimore shut out Toronto 2-0. Tampa Bay over the Red Sox 7-2. Cleveland up, bottom of the 6th. That's Chicago by 5. And the late starts minutes away. Yankees at the Angels, Kansas City at Seattle. Jared Weaver against Bartolo Colon at Angel Stadium. Just a couple of minutes. Here's Elvis Andrus. Check swing strike. Elvis is grounded out, popped up, doubled in a run, and scored. Rangers with first and third here against Wirtz in the 7th. Nobody out. Great opportunity for insurance runs.
You got a bunt and a blooper.
Little bluff that time off first by Kinsler. Well, that evens out some really hard hit balls that went for outs. Kinsler had one of those, lined to short. Moreland, a very hard hit out to center. Chavez robbed by Crisp his last time up. Baltimore 2-0 win over Toronto. Jeremy Guthrie went most of the way, a 3-hitter. That one is kicked off of Wirtz and brings home another Ranger run. Gentry scores. Kinsler scampers all the way to third, almost too far off the bag at third. And it is 5-2.
Kind of a strange inning for the A's. A bunt single, a pop-up that could have been caught, a base hit that looked like it was going up the middle. kicks off the pitcher's foot right straight into right field.
Elvis's second straight run-scoring hit. And what a job leading off the inning here by Craig Gentry. Talk about your small ball. Bunt single, stolen base. 2 singles later, he's home, and now Michael Young. Runner still on the corner, still nobody out. Michael reached on McCarthy's error, scored in the first, and said he's grounded out and popped up. And sends that one into shallow center field. Another base hit, another Ranger run. Kinsler is home. It's 6-2.
They just keep going first to third, one right after the other.
First 4 Rangers against Wirtz, all with singles.
A high hanging slider that Michael lined into center field.
Not the hardest hit ball that you'll see, but very well placed. Kinsler home, Andrews around to third. So again, first and third, nobody out. What a broken record that must be for Wirtz. As he bounces that pitch to Beltre. Adrian drove in the first Ranger run, a double in the first. Since then, a ground out reached on the throwing error by the third baseman Sizemore. Gentry, Kinsler, Andrews, Young, all singles to begin the bottom of the 7th inning. 6 unanswered Ranger runs since the 2-run first inning home run by Willingham. Wirtz has had a couple of injuries this year. Right thumb tendonitis, strained left hamstring back in April. Well hit to left. Is it fair? If it is, it's gone. It is a foul ball.
That's the second ball that Adrian's hit in that general direction. He already got a double, well hit ball to left field. In his last 2 at bats, he's had balls that were hit far enough to be home runs, but just a little bit foul.
Two balls, a very long, loud strike. Did he check his swing? No, says Bill Miller. It's 2-2. It looked like he went around. Just enough. Wirtz's 15th pitch, still looking for his first out. And that is through the hole. Another Ranger base hit, and another run comes home. Elvis scores to make it 7-2.
The only thing the Rangers won't get there is first and third. They'll have to stop at first and second.
Five up, 5 straight singles, 3 runs. Still with nobody out, and that will finish off a very poor experience for Michael Wirtz here in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
Well, with a little bit of help from his defense, it might have been a little bit better.
Well placed shot there by Beltre, second RBI of the night, as left-hander Craig Breslow will come in. 3 runs in, 2 on, still no one out. of the 7th inning. Still nobody out. We'll see what Michael Wirtz's ERA will jump to when this inning is all said and done. He gives way to Craig Breslow to face David Murphy. And this one should be 2 weeks to Pennington. Allen makes the stretch. 1 pitch. Breslow gets 2 outs. Michael Young at third for Mike Napoli.
Catcher Mike Napoli.
Breslow not pitching all that well himself coming in. ERA of 6 in his 20 outings after the All-Star break. Mike Napoli coming off a 4-hit game, tying his career high Wednesday at Tampa Bay. 0 for 3, all strikeouts. 3 of the 5 recorded by McCarthy in his 6 innings. And it took McCarthy 6 innings to give up 5 hits. It took Wirtz 5 batters here in the 7th to give up 5 hits. Rangers gave up 2 in the first, got it back in their half of the first, took the lead 2 in the 5th, busted it wide open here with 3 in the bottom of the 7th. Well, they are underway at Anaheim. Yankees batting against Jared Weaver in the top half of the first. Adams has been ready for quite some time out there in the Ranger bullpen as this inning goes on and on.
Yeah, unless the Rangers, the A's have a little rally in the 8th inning, won't be a save opportunity tonight either.
There's been only 1 in the last 18 Ranger games, and there is ball 4. Tough to keep Mike Napoli off the base paths for an entire game. So again, 1st and 3rd, the familiar sight here in the 7th. Check our 4 leaderboard. Best record within the division. The Rangers 28-14 after a 6-8 start against the West. 22 out of 28 since then. And we got the Tigers in the Central, Brewers in the National League Central, and the Red Sox against the AL East 33-20. So best winning percentage within a team's division belongs to the Rangers. And another lefty-lefty matchup for Breslow. First pitch rides high to Mitch Moreland. 8th Ranger to bat here in the 7th. Mitch a leadoff double in the 2nd. Stranded at 3rd. A line out to Crisp in center. And a ground out to Allen at 1st. 1 for 3. Rips that one, base hit right field. Another run scores. Here comes Michael Young. 8-2 Texas.
A lot of good swings for Mitch tonight, and that's nice to see. That's the 3rd ball he's hit right on the button against the lefty that time. Looked like Breslow was pitching around Mike Napoli to get to Mitch, the left-hand hitter. And Mitch put a great swing on him. It's another ball hard for a base hit. Another Ranger run this inning.
Ninth batter of the inning, Endy Chavez, 0 for 3. It's inside for ball 1. Endy's popped up a bunt attempt, struck out last time. Sent Coco Crisp to the wall, straightaway center field, where he made the defensive play of the night. An otherwise frustrating night defensively for the Oakland A's. Colby's been sitting there, no doubt, enjoying the view as the runs pile up here in the Rangers 7th. He's allowed only 4 base hits. And only the 2 first inning runs. dribbler. That is ruled a fair ball by Tom Hallion.
Stayed fair.
So Chavez tagged out by the catcher Suzuki, the rare 2U, but the Rangers break it open 8-2. Colby Lewis with his strikeout pitches working. Allen to end the first. Pennington to begin the second. Willingham looking to end the third. Allen to begin the fourth. The Jesus looking to end the fourth. Sizemore looking in the fifth. Suzuki swinging to end the seventh. 7 strikeouts for Colby Lewis, and for great deals go to shophonda.com. 94 pitches beginning his 8th inning for Colby. Sizemore lost that one. Out to center field. Gentry squeezes out number 1.
You just can't say enough for the job that Colby's done tonight. Pitching is the name of the game. Good starting pitching gets the job done for you. After Colby gave up the home run, all he's given up since then is 3 singles. Only walk preceded the home run in the first inning.
He's retired 8 in a row now. 14 of the last 15. The only exception being Weeks singled with 2 outs back in the 5th.
Really good assortment of breaking balls tonight. Curveballs, sliders, a few changeups mixed in.
Up the middle. Jemile Weeks has his 2nd straight base hit. And at 99 pitches now, Ron Washington decides that's enough. Job very well done for Colby Lewis in his 5th attempt at his 12th victory. Looks like he will finally get it. And he will also get a very well-deserved standing ovation as he comes out. innings tonight. 7 1/3. 2 runs, 5 hits. He struck out 7, walked only 1. And look like the Colby Lewis, Tom, that the Rangers need to see from here right on through.
Well, you know, every pitcher goes through little stretches where the ball doesn't go where they want it to go, and they struggle a little bit. Colby just came off 3 starts like that, but he was pitching great before that. And there's no reason to believe, as the season winds down and hopefully goes into postseason play, that Colby won't be the exact same pitcher he was last year at this time. So he's terrific tonight.
He was that, and Mike Adams comes on now. 1 out, 1 on to face Coco Crisp, who has grounded out twice and flied out. Mike Adams on a roll. He's retired the last 13 batters he's faced, 8 scoreless innings over his last 8 outings, retiring 23 of 25 with 10 strikeouts. And that is the guy the Rangers figured they were getting from San Diego at the deadline. So Jemile Weeks at first. 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Crisp to be followed by Hideki Matsui. And Weeks takes off and gets second on defensive indifference. About as indifferent as the defense will ever look. So he gets himself into scoring position. Ball and 2 strikes. Adams featuring the mid-90s fastball, the deadly cut fastball. Yoshi Tatayama and Mark Hamburger now up in the Ranger bullpen.
Yeah, they're just getting their throwing in now. They waited just in case the game was the type of game where Ron Washington needed them. Once it's gotten past that, they needed to get some throwing after an off day yesterday, and they're getting their throwing in now. I have to think you'll see Felice in the 9th inning. He hasn't pitched in a week. Nice problem to have, a rested bullpen.
Almost hope Neftali can remember his way out to the mound. 1-2 pitch. Popped up off the fist. And Elvis Andrus is there, and there's out number 2. And for Adams, 14 straight he has retired. He's only given up 3 earned runs, 16 2/3 in a Ranger uniform, all 3 of those scoring on home runs. Matsui, the only walk issued by Lewis in the first. And he scored as the next man Willingham homered. Matsui then a single in the 3rd and a ground out in the 6th. Michael Wirtz, by the way, in the Rangers 7th, pitched to 5 batters, all 5 singled, 4 scored. So he did not record an out, and his ERA jumped over a run. From 5.01 to 6.12. That's pretty hard to do this late in the season, but if you don't even retire a single man, as Wirtz did not, that's what can happen to you. Adams 1-0 pitch right there on the outside edge, a ball and a strike to Matsui. Rangers have dominated this season series. This would be their 9th consecutive win over Oakland. Matsui reaches out to spoil that one. Lead the season series 9-4. Hayes won 4 of the first 5. This would be, as we said, 9 in a row. The Rangers over Oakland would be their longest such streak in the series since 1986. Big crowd. Having a fun, noisy night at the ballpark. That one is hit way back into right field. Home run, Hideki Matsui. A 2-run blast, and it's 8-4. So Adams again has been scored on as a Ranger only via the long ball.
Well, Matsui's a much better hitter now than he was early in the year, and he gets the cutter on the inside corner and does a nice job getting a good part of the bat on it. Not a terrible pitch, maybe not quite as far inside as Mike wanted it, but still not a terrible pitch. Just a nice job by Matsui, the veteran guy.
Strike one to Willingham. That one landing just under the upper porch out there. So all the Oakland runs on 2-run homers by Willingham in the first, Matsui here in the 8th. .372 feet the distance on Matsui's 12th home run of the year. 70th and 71st runs batted into the year. Big cut by Willingham, 1-2 to get Adams a strike away from ending this 8th inning. 8 runs on 11 hits, no errors, 6 men left for the Rangers, 4 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors, and the A's have left 3. Lewis's line now complete, 7 1/3, 3 runs on 5 hits, the 7 Ks and the 1 walk. 99 pitches, 68 for strikes. Willingham takes low, 2-2. A little bit outside, and now a full count for Willingham with Brandon Allen in the on-deck circle. Michael Gonzalez now begins to throw. The A's have nosed a little bit closer. Fifteenth pitch of the inning for Adams on the way. Called strike 3. That takes care of Willingham, his second strikeout of the night. Both looking. It's 8-4. Texas Honda dealer of the game is Jim McNatt Honda off I-35 in Denton, or log on to jimmcnathondanorth.com. Neil Wagner is on, the fourth Oakland pitcher of the night, following McCarthy, Wirtz, Breslow. And in the Ranger half of the eighth, he's got Gentry, Kinsler, and Andrews due up. Wagner making just his fourth appearance, up from AAA Sacramento August 30th. Made his major league debut that night at Cleveland, struck out the first batter he faced, Carlos Santana. Craig Gentry has had a good night. 2 for 20 coming in, 2 for 3 tonight. 2 singles, 2 stolen bases. And he scored the first of the 4 Ranger runs in the 7th as Ryan Sweeney takes over out in center field for Crisp. And Tom, you are correct. We do see Neftali Feliz warming up.
Yeah, I think this would have been one of those games where he was going to pitch today, no matter what the circumstances were. Somehow I think Ron Washington felt had to get him into a game.
Good Friday night crowd too, 36,706. Enjoying themselves immensely here. The Rangers 3 outs away from getting back to 19 games over 500. That one might be playable. Allen runs out of room right as the stands jet out there.
Yeah, that's a tough place to run into too if you're going full speed, because that's cement right there, kind of a sharp edge on it. And the guys from the military made the play. All right.
Oh, I think those may be our friends who had the display of weaponry, the National Guard from Grand Prairie, set up outside the Rangers clubhouse door. Quite an impressive display it was too. I think that's them.
I was in the National Guard in Grand Prairie. I was in that same unit way back when.
Actually, I don't think those are the same guys. They might be.
I don't think they carry those same kind of weapons.
Well, it was fun meeting those folks, the National Guard, before the game. And very informative, describing in detail what they all did of high-tech instruments on display. That one comes in and hits Craig Gentry. He grimaces his way down to first and is quickly followed by Jamie Reed and Ron Washington. Craig finally get a chance to play. Last thing he wants to do is come out even in the 8th inning.
That's just dangerous territory up there in the forearm, wrist, finger, hand area. It's so fragile. It's so easy to get a ball in the wrist and end up having to go on the disabled list. Yeah, at this stage of the season, Craig is a very valuable guy. Might not be playing every day from here on out, but the way he can pinch run and steal a base almost at will, that could be a very valuable thing in the next 3 weeks. In a game you have to win, a run you have to score, to have Craig in there.
Kinsler pops the first pitch down toward the line, and it falls fair in front of DeJesus.
He has an infield hit that Pennington couldn't get out of his glove, a blooper that went off the glove of Weeks, and now another one that bloops right down the right field line. So this is one of those games where maybe the hits do help even out some of the line drives that have been caught.
It's pretty close to even now, I would say. He has 3rd straight single, also a walk in the first. He has scored 3 times tonight. And the Rangers now 1st and 2nd. Nobody out. This is how the 7th inning started for Michael Wirtz. Neil Wagner hoping it doesn't finish the same as Elvis steps up on a 2-for-4 night. And that is booted by Weeks, and everybody's safe.
That ball went right up his chest and knocked his hat off. I had a feeling you're going to see this on the highlights again. Ball went perfect double play ball, goes right off the heel of his glove. It looked like it hit him in the chest, and then right in the bill of that cap and knocked his hat off. Boink.
Man.
This is just one bad game for the A's defense. Wow.
If you've ever seen an E4, that would be it. Oh, my. That's going to follow him no telling how long. Yeah, we will definitely, I think, see that. You know, Rangers now with the bases loaded. Nobody out for Michael Young. Singled in a run and scored in the Rangers' 4-run seventh. Reached on the first Oakland error. First of their 3 tonight in the first. And he scored back then as well. Boy, Wagner's thinking he's got a 4-6-3 double play. 2 quick outs. And he has only Young to worry about.
He's got to worry. You got to really worry about Michael now because he's thrown him 2 sliders and it's 2-0. You got to throw him a fastball right here. Got a good fastball though. He's got a good arm, 95 miles an hour with that fastball. Yeah, I don't think Elvis could have hit a better ball to turn for a double play. Hard hit right at Weeks. Just wasn't able to come up with it.
The 2-1 pitch. Also foul back, and it's 2-2. This one was close for a while. 2-2 into the bottom of the 5th. Rangers took the lead with 2 there. 4 more in the 7th. Gentry at 3rd, Kinsler at 2nd, Andrus at 1st here in the 8th with no one out. And the 2-2 pitch is again spoiled by Michael. Wagner, 27, native of Minneapolis, Eden Prairie High School, North Dakota State. With the Indians organization most of his pro career. And his 15th pitch of the inning lashed into the gap, right center field. Gentry scores. Kinsler scores. Andrus is coming home. Michael Young unloads the bases with a 3-run double.
It's kind of been the story of the game for the Rangers. Get some opportunities and take advantage of them. Michael came up there, got the count to 2-0, fouled off the 2-2 pitch, then got a fastball right here, out over the plate, and drives it into the gap. Good pitch for Michael to hit right there. That's his hot zone.
Now that's 4 RBIs in his last 2 at-bats, and he's up to 95 for the season. Adrian Beltre is driven to the couple on a double in the 1st and a single in the 7th. It's perfectly splitting Sweeney and DeJesus out there right center field. And the merry-go-round got started.
Well, the key to the inning, well, that's the key to the inning, that hit right there. But to get to that point was the double play that the A's didn't turn.
Michael's 54th multi-hit game. 11 runs on 13 hits. 7 runs in the last 2 innings. This one skied into shallow right center. Who's going to make the call? Ryan Sweeney does. And Wagner finally records his first out. So that brings up Murphy. drove in the Rangers' second run back in the first on a sacrifice fly. Since then, he's fouled out, flied to center, and grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. RBI, though, for David. For the 11th time in his last 13 games, with a total of 18 in that stretch, and he waves at strike one. McCarthy started 6 innings, 4 runs, 2 of which were unearned on 5 hits. Michael Wirtz did not retire a batter in the 7th. 4 runs on 5 hits. His ERA jumped by more than a run. Breslow got all 3 outs in the 7th, including 2 on the first pitch he threw, the Murphy double play ball. And the Yankees with a run in the top half of the 3rd on a home run by Jesus Montero. Took Jared Weaver out to left. So a Ranger win here. Perhaps a Yankee win out in Orange County. The lead back to 3.5 in the West. Allen handles the second out unassisted. Young now at 3rd for Mike Napoli. Bartolo Colon on the mound tonight for the Yankees. Tomorrow night, the Angels get CC Sabathia going after his 20th win. He'll oppose Dan Herron, who is 14-8, but not pitching all that well lately. It's not been a great second half, really, for Herron.
No, and Weaver hasn't been pitching that great either.
And you know, especially since the start here on short rest. A lot of people speculated that might be the case. Mike Scioscia moving Santana and Weaver up each on 3 days rest. They had never done that before. Worked out okay for Santana at the time. Not for Weaver. Not really since then for Weaver. Napoli yet to put a ball in play. Struck out swinging his first 3 times up, then walked off Breslow back in the 7th.
Nice play. How did he catch that ball? He's got to be an acrobat to catch that pitch.
Especially with the angle he used.
The ball bounced, spun, went right in the middle of his glove.
1-1 pitch. That is hit well way back right center field and way out of here. Over the Ranger bullpen, a 2-run blast for Mike Napoli. His 25th of the year, 1 below his career high. It's 13-4.
Yeah, Mike struggled his first 3 times up. Looked like his timing was off just a tick. Then he worked a walk. Then he got a fastball out over the plate and showed the kind of power he has to drive the ball to the opposite field. Over the Ranger bullpen. No jet stream either. There's no wind at all. That was a legitimate over the bullpen home run right there. Not many right-hand hitters are going to be seen poking a ball over there. Torrealba's looking at him going, man, you are strong, drive a ball like that. And he is. What a season for him.
Well, the Rangers just keep putting the crooked numbers up there. 13-4. 4 in the 7th, 5 here in the 8th. And again, this was a 2-2 tie into the bottom of the 5th. Since then, 11 unanswered runs by the Rangers. 428 feet. Mercy, an opposite field 428-foot homer is the estimate on the shot by Napoli. Wow. Inning began with Wagner hitting Craig Gentry. Kinsler then singled. Andrews reached on the memorable error at second by Weeks. But he comes back to strike out Moreland. Rangers send 8 to the plate, get 5 of them home. On to the 9th, and Alan Pennington and DeJesus scheduled up. The A's down by 9. Here at the ballpark beginning Tuesday. You can save up to 50% on Lexus Club Terrace tickets. Just pay the day, $13 on September 13th, $14 on the 14th, or $15 on the 15th. For tickets, go to TexasRangers.com/specials. And Neftali Feliz is on, having not pitched any of the 6 games on the road trip. Some much needed use here. 11 1/3 scoreless, 4 saves, 12 strikeouts over his last 12 outings, dropping his ERA down to 2.87. Opponents are just 3 for 36 against Feliz in those 12 games, 0.83 average. Matt Traynor is taken over behind the plate for Mike Napoli. Andres Blanco at third for Beltran. Esteban Herman at second for Ian Kinsler. Please throw strike 1 to Brandon Allen. And Leonis Martin in center field. Moving Craig Gentry over to right field. And Feliz quickly up with a 100-mile-an-hour strike 2.
Fans noticed that one.
.100 again. That's a very well-rested arm. Feliz these last 2 years very dominant against AL West competition. Allen seeing him for the first time, and he strikes out.
Boom, a changeup. 91 miles an hour. Looked like it was about a 50-mile-an-hour pitch as far as out in front of it as he was.
You gotta love that sequence. And our TXU Energy play of the game. 5th inning. And Elvis Andrus with an RBI double. Scoring the go-ahead run, Kinsler. Elvis would later come home himself. Rangers have rolled from there on. Cliff Pennington has struck out and grounded out twice. Find a plan that's right for you. Call TXU Energy. The right things right now. Boy, he's really getting the very best of Feliz here. Triple-digit fastballs. The change. Got the slider there, and it's 1-2. $13 runs, 14 hits for the Rangers. No errors. 6 left. 4 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors. 3 left for the A's. Tomorrow afternoon, game 2 of the series. 3 o'clock start here on Fox. Tom Grieve will have the telecast along with Glenn Kuiper. Hope today's fine broadcaster. It's Alexi Ogando against Trevor Cahill. A couple of guys, Tom, that started off this season extremely well and have struggled for the last several weeks.
Yeah, I'm interested to see Alexi tomorrow after skipping a start, getting an inning of work in the bullpen, and coming back against the A's. Be interested to see how he throws tomorrow. And we've seen Cahill struggle the last couple of months, really. Last 6 weeks for sure.
Last year, such a Ranger killer, especially it seemed like he was always pitching head-to-head with Colby Lewis and just a little bit better. It was now 10-13. Then Sunday afternoon at 2, Fox Sports Southwest, C.J. Wilson against Josh Outman, who earlier today was named as a starter in place of the originally announced starter, Rich Harden. CJ will be going for his career-high 16th victory, coming off his first career shutout at Tampa Bay. We'll get both those games, afternoon games, 3 tomorrow, 2 on Sunday. Pennington working a full count with 1 out. Strikes out. A's down to their last out.
The lowest fastball I've noticed has been 99. Almost everything 99 or 100.
And 36,706 on their feet to try and help Feliz bring this one home. DeJesus is 0 for 3. And looks at strike 1 at 99. Drops in the slider, 0-2. ...101 miles per hour, and somehow managed to foul it off. I don't think we've seen anything above 101, even from Feliz before right then. He has had everything working in his first outing in a week. Right field for Gentry. And the Rangers take game 1 of this 3-game set with the A's, running away with it to a final of 13-4. Ian Kinsler scored 4 times, a walk and 3 base hits. Colby Lewis in his 5th try finally comes up with his 12th win of the year. 7 1/3 strong innings, allowing 3 runs on 5 hits. Mike Napoli goes deep big time, 428 feet to the opposite field over the Ranger bullpen. 2-run home run capping the Rangers' 5-run 8th inning. Michael Young with a couple of hits. Drove in 4 tonight and scored 3 himself.
Pretty nice last couple of innings for the Ranger offense. They scored 9 runs in the 7th and 8th inning. Napoli hit a ball over the Ranger bullpen that normally you'd think a left-hand hitter had to hit that ball to hit it 425 feet over the bullpen. Showing his power the opposite way.
We'll have much more coming from the ballpark. The Rangers with us with 13-4. Stay with us.